I think I could imagine being an artist all my life. I mean, you know, I've always been this way as far back as I can remember. So, yeah, I can't imagine not wanting to do stuff a lot, make things and go, hey, what do you think about this? Like, there's going to be, really, that's what an artist is. It's just like, hey, what do you guys think about this? That's pretty much it. So as long as I have that feeling, I guess I'll always be an artist.
I live in New York City. 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 Yeah.
True artists never retire. It's like, you know, you're gonna stop being a spiritual being. You're gonna retire from being in love. I do sometimes when I'm very tired. I wish I could say to hell with all of this and not need to ever be in a studio again, not need to ever suffer another review. Why do the next one? Why start this process again? Yeah. Why? Because, you know, there's something that happens when you're a survivor, as I am. You either get to this point, fuck them, I don't care, or you always are thinking about winning because you're judging yourself. I've got to win. But what does winning mean?
At a certain point, you may discover that this is just this amazing craft that you've been developing over these years, and that you just want to keep challenging yourself and discover what projects you could be involved with that would actually shift the art form itself.
Don't be sad about your chosen path and where it's taken you thus far, 'cause this is what you did and that is who you are.
In the US, people are artists because they had to be, not because they wanted to be. You can't, like, I want to be an avant-garde circus composer. No, I had to be one. And there was no plan B for me. If there's a plan B, you'll do it. You will. If I could sit in an office and make a living and be comfortable, I'd do it. I fucking can't stand it.
I do think it's true that if people can do anything else, they end up doing that. And I watched many of my friends that I graduated with move into different careers. And those of us who just couldn't do another bloody thing ended up acting.
I keep choosing it, you know, somehow. And there isn't anything else I'd rather do. On the one hand, it doesn't feel like a choice. I feel like I'm pretty stubborn and have always had a sense that I had to be doing something like this.
With your soul still inside you, let it guide you.
But there have been many days when it seemed like maybe I was the only person who felt that way, and then days when even I didn't necessarily feel that way.
I was in Ibiza where I was by myself, and the week before, they had James Brown and the Flames, and then it was Joey Arias the following week. And the guy looked at me and said, "You better be better than James Brown." And I said, "What the hell are you talking about, better than James Brown? James Brown's a legend." I'm just, you know. And I was just like back there and I thought, if the show goes great and it goes over, I'm meant to do this. And if it's a flop, this is the last performance I'll ever do. And came out and did the show, and people went bananas, and they actually kept me there for like 2 weeks. I think I'm always gonna be creating, even vocally, and it just kind of oozes out of me naturally. I think performances, if I was meant to do what I'm supposed to be doing. As a friend of mine said, I was engineered to perform.
Well, I'll never stop making my work. It really gives me energy, and I believe it's a kind of spiritual commitment. It's not an effort. I don't mean that I consciously think of it being spiritual when I'm making it, but in the long run, it's my life of the spirit it's my way of communicating to the world, to my friends.
This is my form of communication, and as long as I have something important and valid to say, that I'm desperate to say, that it would hurt so much not to say it, that I'm going to remain in the arts.
There are definitely moments where I question being an artist. I guess it mostly has to do with the kind of stability of being an artist, and you look at your future and you wonder, like, how's that going to work out? Because I don't have a huge pension fund. It doesn't work that way. But otherwise, I love being an artist. I can't imagine living any other way.
The one thing that makes it most worth it to stay in the performing arts is that it's so tremendously fun, and you're guaranteed to have a rich life that's full of lots of playing around and goofing around and creating and building, and you're destined to meet interesting and creative, funny people.
Henry Irving, who was one of these actor managers that I spoke about, who was, I believe, close to 80 when he died. And he was performing on stage, and he said, "I'm not feeling very well." He sat down and he passed away. And I thought, that wouldn't be a bad way to go. So, I mean, you know, as long as I have my wits, if I can still memorize my lines and, you know, see where my mark is on stage, if I have my faculties, I think I don't think I could live without it.
You know, I'm 36, I have a kid. My hope at a normal life or doing things in order was, I don't really want that, and I feel like what I want now is to just be engaged in my life. And sometimes it's playing music, sometimes I'm driving a taxi cab, you know, whatever. I just want to be engaged in my life.